Perfect. Perfect.
Frank, you guys have done it again.
Thanks, buddy.
This coach is unlike anything we've ever seen. What's going on here, sir?
Well, this is a brand new coach we just brought in for a past client that was obviously just finished. It's got a real spectacular paint job on the outside that the client and Dean Laux worked out very specifically. It's got some new touches that we haven't done before.
Yes, sir, and we've seen you all over the country. I know you had a lot going on in Sturgis. You've been a lot of different places lately. What have you been up to?
Yeah, we just got back here a couple of days ago. We were out for, I think, about 20 days. My wife Denise and I were rally masters with another customer for the bus and biker group out in Spearfish during Sturgis. It was the 30th anniversary of the bus and bikers. Started there in Sturgis 30 years ago, and then we had our Liberty Coach event right after. I mean, the day that ended, Liberty Coach started. We had family come in, and then we also transitioned out to West Yellowstone in the coach and spent some time out there 4 or 5 days and then flew back. So yeah, we've been pretty busy.
I think you might have had a party up in Petoskey at Hearthside Grove as well?
Yeah, we had a party up there. I unfortunately couldn't attend that, but we had a party up there that we did. My brother Kurt and my sister-in-law, his wife Kim, hosted that with Greg Wade. So we've been everywhere.
Now, this particular coach, one of the classiest coaches I've ever seen. What is going on here, sir?
Well, once again, this is a coach that was designed specifically for a client. They had a lot of input on the interior. I think it came out better than they expected, and that's always good to hear. They came in and saw it yesterday afternoon, and I think it's gone over more than better. It's been amazing.
And if someone wants to order a new model Liberty Coach, how far out are you?
Right now, we've taken an order on the coach for October of 23. So the next coach then would be in November of 23.
A lot of people are asking, I know clients are very confidential about the cost of these coaches, but if someone does want to purchase a new Liberty Coach, roughly what is the MSRP on one of these coaches?
You're going to be probably up in the 2.9 million range for sure.
Yes, sir. And what are some of the things that separates Liberty Coach from everyone else in the industry?
Well, the biggest thing, I think, the top three are going to be something that you touched on a little bit ago. We are actually users of the coach. So we're out there using the coach, understanding what everybody's going through. We go out, we can work on the coaches ourselves. I take my tools, I'm out there doing whatever I can to help people. The next thing is going to be the quality of what we build, by far is second to none. And then you go into the technology aspects of what we do on the Volta systems, on the remote control systems, stepping back up into the quality aspects, the layout that my brother Kurt does, and the interior designs that his wife Kim does. I mean, that's what really sets Liberty Coach apart.
Well, and of course, we got to give Dean Laux some credit as well. Up at Sturgis, Liberty Coach stole the show. Do you know about how many Liberty Coaches were up at Sturgis this year?
Well, there was 18 in our group, and then add what was mixed in the bus and biker group that was there. We probably had almost 24.
You could definitely tell a Dean Laux paint job when you're going around the campground. Now, this Dean Laux paint job, I think it might have been referred to as 50 Shades of White at one point.
Yeah.
Just an incredible design. Do you know what the story is on how this came about?
You know, that was specific between Dean and the client. There was a lot of changes that were done and new touches that were done. Colors or tints that don't come out unless it's in the sun. It's an artistry series, so there's touches that are on that. I mean, this is the second one now that the door handles have all been painted through. The upper marker lights have been painted as well. So there's a lot of things that are going on here that are new. That's really cool.
Absolutely stunning. Artist Series number 18. Now, what else is going on in this coach?
On the interior part of it, it was kind of spec'd once again with the client working with Kim specifically and Kurt as well. There's some things that they wanted after using the coach that they currently have for the last 7 years, I guess it's been 6 to 7 years. They had been making notes as they went along to get to the point of, okay, when we're going to build a coach, these are the things that we'd like to see in a coach. I think it's the second one that we've done, the Kaleidoscape video a server unit inside as well, so that's kind of cool. But that's being able to be utilized because of our internet access ability that we have with the dual 5G systems, so that they can get all that information.
And it's well known that Liberty Coach is cutting edge with their technology. You touched on that a little in a previous video, but what is the new internet system that these coaches have?
My son Alex has been working with a company here for probably about 3+ years to be able to move us up into higher generations of data access. And the newest that we have is a dual 5G system. I had it out testing it in Sturgis and in the Yellowstone area with just the internal antennas and no external antennas on the unit. I was able to get averages of about 50 megabyte downloads and uploads all the time. When you add the boosters to it and the external antennas, you can see that increase pretty significantly from there. So we're getting closer and closer to being able to stream all the time and try and get away from the satellite TV headaches that we all deal with. So I think pretty soon we'll be able to migrate totally to streaming.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing inside of this coach and seeing more of the technology, but do you want to show us around the basement base here?
Absolutely. Painted through on the door handles here, front door handle as well, around the keyless entry. You can see on here, this is an artistry that has the signature striping going through the windows.
And this is a different profile than we've ever seen, with not only the white at the top, but really incredible.
Well, as it even comes through the windows, which
Yes,
we
sir.
haven't seen that before either. First bay here, got your storage, our slide out trays, which are the lowest profile in the industry.
Now, Liberty Coach uses manual trays. I know a lot of other motorhomes out there use power trays. Is there a reason that you use manual trays?
The power trays is an option. The reason that a lot of people don't go with them in most coaches is because of the fact you lose about 3 inches in the height of your storage capability because of those electric slides for the mechanism and all the mechanicals that go along with it. With ours that we build, they are the lowest profile in the industry, giving you more height in the bay.
And the largest basement bays in the industry as well?
Yes, absolutely. Probably about 45, 46 inches tall.
Yeah, now there's other companies converting on the Prevost shell as well. What's different about how Liberty Coach finishes out the basement bays and other companies?
Well, I think when you look at the other companies that are out there and really crawl into the bays like we've had customers do and look around inside, I mean, we finish everything. You know, we just don't take a plywood panel and screw it to the wall and paint it or put some laminate on there. I mean, we do this as far as carpeting the bays on the walls. It makes it quieter. It's a better finish to it. It looks cleaner. It looks more, it's higher quality. Let's just put it that way at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
And then we trim out the bays with a stainless steel around it, which nobody else does, even though that the bays are stainless to begin with. We trim out the edges in polished stainless, so it is all finished, so you don't see the welds that are there also. We have a tool drawer here.
And is that all made by Liberty
Yes,
Coach?
all this is made by Liberty Coach. We have the hanging drawer arrangement. 2 drawers here.
And we're seeing all kinds of items. Is this some of the owner's belongings?
No, this is all standard stuff that we put in the coach. So flare kit, you've got the tow bar, you've got fuses, extra fuses, a circuit tester. We have a first aid kit. We've got extra filters, water filters, bypass kits for freeze protection, exterior sunscreens that can snap on the windshields or outside the side windows, excuse me, and storage above. Plus our manuals that we have, our PDI kit that has its hoses, the tank deodorant, toilet paper. That is all part of what we put in the coach. This is our second bay on the passenger side. So you've got the AVR unit, or the sound processor, for the lower bay. The Moritz Octoplex 110 boxes are down here, which is our 110 and 220 distribution panel. Again, another slide out tray here. Drawer storage, each one. And you might notice on the videos that we do a lot of labeling. So everywhere that you see a switch or there's some kind of plaque, something to tell you, or on the valves, there's a label that's tie strapped to the valves, so that you know what those valves do, what position they're supposed to be in, how many turns they're supposed to be open, whatever the situation may be, so that you're not having to try and call somebody on the phone or get to a manual to figure out what that actually is. 65-inch TV in the bay, soundbar mounted below. The mechanism to be able to do that in and out is all manufactured by Liberty Coach. So We also have locks in here as well that you can set, so if you're in a windy condition, you can lock it in certain positions all the way around so it doesn't blow around.
And I've seen Liberty Coach owners using this TV. The brightness and the crispness of the picture is just on another level.
Yeah.
Has that technology evolved recently, or?
Well, we went to a direct line link, if you will, from the source, which would be, say, like your satellite TV or your Apple TV, what have you, to the digital matrix, and then a solid continuous run of fiber optic HDMI then to the display. So there's nothing to interrupt or to upset the signal. So that's why the crispness, the color, the blackness of our picture is so much better quality than anything that you'll see. I mean, the TVs that we put in are the highest quality Samsung units that we can get, and with their technology and the expense of those units, I mean, these are not just go down the street to the local store and pay $500 for a TV. I mean, these TVs are expensive. So you might as well put the infrastructure behind it to take advantage of what those displays can do. Third bay on the passenger side, again, there's more storage here on top. The grill unit, the Kenyon International grill unit that we put in, that's standard on every coach, and that you would take out and plug in. Everybody that has that unit loves it. It does such a great job. Parts for the grill here, more storage, and then we have the refrigerator. We have a wired restaurant panel here to operate the inside, outside, and all the features of the coach. You can bring up the cameras down here as well. Fourth bay, with drawer storage here. On the other side of this panel is the DEF tank. We've got approximately 16 liters of DEF fluid that's filled on the other side of the coach. We have fuel fill on both sides of the coach, so you can fill the coach with diesel fuel, passenger side or driver side. We handle here about 238 gallons of fuel. We have the highest capacity in the industry. This then is our water compartment, we call it, or our water bay. So you've got a hot and cold sprayer here. And then in the bay here, we've got the water pump, reverse osmosis water filtration system. You can fill the coach with fresh water on both sides of the coach, passenger side or driver side. You can dump the holding tank from both sides of the coach. You can also dump the fresh water tank. Those are on air valves, so you can get the water out of the tank rapidly. There's a 40-gallon water heater that's electric, or it's heated from the main engine by the heat exchanger. And then you've got other filtration here as well. So we do a lot of water filtration. The reverse osmosis system goes to the ice maker, the coffee maker, as well as the water dispenser on the refrigerator. And then again, we our stainless steel fresh water tank, our aluminum holding tank, and then we have the tankless water heater. So the tankless water heater goes to the shower valve. So if you do have a situation where your water heater has failed, you can turn that on and always have hot water instantly going to the shower.
And how big are the fresh water and the holding tanks?
They're approximately 160 gallons each.
And how long has Liberty Coach been using the stainless steel tanks?
I would have to go back probably almost 40 years.
Wow. And I always have to hit on it, lifetime warranty to the original owner. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
That's part of our lifetime workmanship warranty to the original owner. So the things that Liberty Coach builds on the workmanship part of it, those are the things that we would cover for the life of the coach, as long as the owner owns that particular coach. So if we have a fresh water tank that starts to leak, we manufactured that tank, we will repair it or replace it for no charge. Squeaks and rattles, we've talked about that many times. That's part of the lifetime workmanship warranty. It's not something that we tolerate in our coach, so we will warranty that. If the countertop breaks or if a cabinet has an issue because of how we manufactured or built it, that's our problem, not the customer's problem.
Definitely the only one in the business that can say that.
This would be the right rear engine compartment access. So you've got a stainless steel storage box that we make in-house. Store cords, oil, whatever you'd like to back here. You also have the passenger side or starboard shore power inlet. So if you have an issue with the 75-foot electric cord reel that we put in, or you just don't want to use that to plug the coach in with and it's more convenient, you can plug the coach in from the passenger side. There's also a 30 amp 220 outlet here that would be utilized, for example, powering up your stacker trailer or a trailer. And that would be done only when you're parked. You wouldn't have that hooked up as you're driving down the road. There's also a macerator outlet here so that you can use a macerator pump, which is standard on our coaches, to pump the holding tank out if you need to. Rear detail on the coach as well, stainless trim and everything that we do. The stainless steel belt guard, we manufacture that as well, just to be able to clean everything up. Some people like to leave it on, some people like to have it off so they can see the belts, but we provide this as standard. We also polish the heat guard for the engine exhaust system. We always kind of touch on the belt tightening system that we have on the coach, so there's automatically keeps the correct tension on your belts on the engine, so you really don't have to worry about coming back here to make sure that the tension of the belts is correct. Now this plays into the Prevost chassis and the experience and the knowledge of almost now 100 years of building buses and the hundreds of millions of miles that they have under their belt to understand what a piece of equipment like this how it should be built so it can take care of the owner instead of the owner having to take care of it all the time. These are things that Prevost does. We look back here, for example, you have a real good idea of the stainless steel structure of the Prevost chassis, which is second to none. There's no other manufacturer out there that does that. This coach is built for that 2.5 to 3 million mile longevity that we continually talk about. This experience, when we touch on how many hundreds of millions of miles that Prevost has, they've got the seated industry, which are the tour buses that you see going up and down the highway, the entertainer coaches. All of the entertainers today ride in Prevost product, be it single slide, double slide, H345, or the X3 platform. They all ride on the Prevost chassis because there is no other company that has the service network and the quality of the product, which is so reliable, and they need that reliability because that's how they make a living.
And out at Sturgis, I saw a lot of stacker trailers behind Liberty coaches. What's the towing capacity?
Towing capacity is 20,000 pounds and 2,500 pounds on the tongue. As you know, I just took delivery of a new stacker when I was out there, and I actually have 2 stacker trailers. I tow and I drive. I wouldn't do it without it. That's just me. Everything goes into the trailer clean, comes out of it clean. It's a nice operation.
Now, I know a lot of motor coaches out there have 600 horsepower and up. How are you able to pull these big stacker trailers with just 500 horsepower?
Well, the Volvo being 500 horsepower, the way the gears are done for the gear ratio for the drive, the engine has 1,850 foot-pounds of torque. So when I'm pulling the stacker trailer with the coach, I can climb up the mountains, and I'm probably in that 35 to 40 mile an hour range. And at the end of the day, it gets me over the mountain. It doesn't overheat. We don't have any heating issues whatsoever at all. And if somebody else passes me up, you know, I'm probably going to catch up to them on the flat side. So
yes, sir.
It's all good.
Yes, sir. And as we're talking, I'm noticing this huge slide room that's even taller than you are. The bottom of the slide is taller than you are. Now, is this, we've seen the super slides. Does this have the super slides in the bedroom?
This is the super slides on either side of the rear of the coach, so it is our super suite, if you will, and we'll get an opportunity to see how immense that looks once we get inside.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing the interior, but what else is going on?
Well, we have the 5th bay back here on the driver's side, so you can see how we finish this off, the Liberty Coach signature finish, if you will, with the stainless steel polished freshwater tank, the stainless steel cap on the aluminum holding tank, the copper plumbing that we have in here that's all coated. And Andrew, you've seen coaches that are 15, 20 years old that still look that way. We also have the storage for the sewer hoses here. We have the 100-foot water hose reel. We also have a pull-out hand sprayer as well to wash out the sewer hoses once you utilize them. Our tank dump system here, we keep this in place while driving down the road to keep any dust and debris from coming up. Once you have the hose hooked up, then we go ahead and slide this cover upside down, and that keeps anybody from crawling up inside the coach.
It's so much little quality in the coach, and as you're getting ready to point out the basement, do I want to point out that this fade curves around? Is that
That's Dean.
That's standard on every Liberty coach?
That's standard on every Liberty coach. If we were to have the windows open, you'd see that the windows in the back side would be finished as well, so it all looks the same. It's no different than how the paint transitions around the slides. All that has to stay the same. Between the 4th and 5th bay at the bottom is where the shore cord reel comes out. So again, there's 75 foot of electric reel there that's remote control or a switch in the bay. This is going to be the fuel fill access for the driver's side and also DEF. So the DEF and the fuel are in the same position. Too often I see customers with Class A's, non-Prevost product, that have to transition or move the coach one way or another to be able to put the DEF in when you're standing at the truck stop, or they have it on the other side, or you have to use those 2.5 gallon jugs. This is done right here, just like it would be on the over-the-road tractor trailer systems. Convenience, because this is something Prevost has learned through the many years that they are in business. 4th bay driver's side, we have the storage tubs. This is something that is standard for us here. We also can build this into an outdoor closet as well, which would be totally enclosed and sealed.
And real quick, I've just got to get everybody a close-up of all the details in this paintwork. You have this pattern that's a white background with a silver pattern, and as this pattern fades up, it fades more into a silver background with now the white. And then is there like a change going on between the different colors in this?
There is a change that gets even into a gold tint when the coach is outside in the sun. So there's a lot of work that was done here for sure.
Yes, sir.
3rd bay on the driver's side is going to be our generator compartment. We do have, as people have seen in our videos, we do have a ladder that goes up inside here. So the ladder is outside right now. It'll be put in here after a bit. This is the generator compartment, 12.5 kW Onan unit.
Yeah, and we've touched on it before, only a 12.5. A lot of the other companies out there are using 20 kW. Why do you choose to go with a smaller generator?
So these are things that we've talked about in the past. We use the Volta 58 volt lithium ion energy packs. We have 2 of those, 36,000 kilowatts of power. We have 3 5,000 watt inverter units. 2 of them can be stacked for 220 voltage to run the equipment that requires 220, like your oven, your microwave that we put in the coach, the washer dryers. The utilization of that was allowed us to downsize on the generator. For an example, when we were using the coach that we had out, we had a 2020 model that we used for the past almost 3 weeks. When we were sitting in Mitchell, South Dakota, we had 2 air conditioners on after we parked at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We had those 2 AC units on, battery power only, and then we were cooked dinner, and then we went to just 1 AC unit on in the bedroom, and then at about 3 o'clock in the morning, the generator came on auto start. So that was 12 hours, okay? Mind you, for a while we were running 2 ACs, and then we went to 1. Got up in the morning at 6 o'clock, started the coach up, shut the generator down, and within 2.5 hours, that whole pack was charged to 100%. You can run 2 ACs on our coach set up with the Volta for about 8 hours, depending on the temperature outside. You go to a single AC unit, you can probably be out to 15 to 16 hours. So a lot of our customers are seeing that they don't utilize the generator that much. And again, the fuel usage has gone down because pulling my stacker trailer fully loaded with a Jeep, 2 motorcycles, and all the equipment that we had for the rallies that we were doing, I was able to go from North Chicago, Illinois to just outside of Rapid City on 1 tank of fuel. Mind you, it was tight, but I got through it, you know, so I put 200 gallons in when I got there. Electric fans that Prevost has installed on the coaches, plus not having to run the generator as much, we're not using as much fuel.
And now you've been doing that trip for a long time. In the older coaches, when they had the 20 kW generators, you noticed a lot more fuel consumption?
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, that was my 27th trip to Sturgis, so, you know, the times prior to that, I would not have been able to make it.
And when did Liberty Coach switch from the 20 kW to the 12.5 and the lithium system?
That package changed on coach number 806, which is the 2017 model year. We've been doing the lithium ion technology since 2010 on the Mastervolt system, and then we transitioned because every coach we built from 2010, which would have been coach 718, 2011 model year, up to coach 806 was the Mastervolt system, and then we transitioned to the Volta on Coach 806 for the 2017 model year.
And how have customers been reacting to the lithium technology?
They love it. I mean, we haven't had anybody that said, hey, listen, I can't deal with this. I want to go back to lead acid or AGMs. Not happening.
So it's been every coach for over 10 years now.
Well, we're getting to 12, almost 13 years.
Very cool.
So driver's side second bay, very clean, the installation of everything that we do. So the gray box on top is your Volta battery management system. That's where you can shut the coach down and turn it back on, or do a reboot on the coach if need be. We've touched on this before. We are the only manufacturer out there that has the ability for you to store your coach for great lengths of time without it being plugged in. So if the coach is stored in a climate controlled environment in a building, you could leave the windows open on the coach, empty the refrigerator and the ice maker, come down here, one button press, turns the coach totally off. If you're sitting at 100% state of charge, you can probably go 3-4 months, Volta says 6 months, without worrying about the battery packs being depleted. You can come back in, hit that button, everything comes back up to a clean reboot, and you're ready to go.
Nice, but the system definitely has to be shut down though when it's indoors. Is that?
Well, you don't have to. I mean, that's an option for people if they don't have the ability to plug the coach in. Otherwise, it's always a good idea to have the coach plugged into a 50 amp service.
Okay, and I'm seeing over here, this, I usually see the black Zip-D chairs.
Yeah.
Are these a new style?
Yeah, because I believe on here they decided to go with a different color on the awnings. So that would match the awning color as well. Then we have the first bay driver's side. Again, we have rollout tray here, the extra cords, air hose. This is all part of what we provide the customer on a new coach. So you've got extra shore cords, you've got air hose if you need it. There's other fittings, the extra belts in the coach as well, so you're all set.
And how many of these chairs come with the coach?
4 chairs. So there's going to be 2 mounted on the first and second bay doors on either side of the coach. And we have Prevost access here, what we call the steering compartment, which has the washer tank and the headlight washer system, as well as their electrical system access. There are auxiliary air compressors located here, and there's a sealed storage compartment behind the front bumper as well. So yeah, we were going around the coach. Now that we're toward the front, if you look all the way up where the marker lights are, you can see that those are smoked. Part of Dean's package on this particular coach, and then on the sides you can see that the paint actually goes through the upper marker lights, and on the back you can't even tell that they're there. It blends right into the paint scheme. So I guess you want to take a look inside.
I think we do, yes sir.
Here we go.
This is absolutely incredible, unlike anything we've ever seen. A totally different design.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool design. There's some different contrasts that are going on here. It's very subtle, very classy looking, very elegant, if you will. The layout of the coach is a bath and a half coach. It does have the new extended galley that we've been doing, so that we utilize only 1 chair up in the front of the coach and have the desk arrangement here, which is, I think, going to really start getting some traction. You've got the ability to pull out drawer here. We also have the AVR unit for the front sound processor. We have room here for a wireless printer and scanner. This is a new material that we're utilizing now. We used to always use for many years the fabric type material. So we've transitioned to this. We believe it's going to be a lot cleaner. It's not going to be able to attract as much dust and what have you. If you spill something on it, it's going to be a lot easier to clean instead of having to replace it.
This almost reminds me of like a marine type feel. Do you know if there was a certain inspiration that the owners had?
You know, I wish I could say that. I don't know. I wasn't present when the interior was picked out, so I don't really know how the theme came about, but I can understand what you're thinking or what your feeling is here, because you can go into some of the newer yachts out there and get this feel.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
The couch here that we have, this jackknifes down electrically so that you can utilize it as a bed. We have in the front area cockpit arrangement. There's some different materials that are used on the leathers, which you really can't see from here, but that's an embossed leather that's on the dash. We've got the diamond quilted patterns that are on the driver and passenger seat. This dash has been the dash that we introduced in 2016 model year. There's 18 different molds that encompass this whole system from the driver's left-hand side all the way through the entry door. We do have a center pillar monitor here as well, so that you can have the backup camera on there running, or you can have the 360 bird's eye view camera system going. Something we need to touch on here, going in conjunction with Prevost and Liberty Coach, is the lane departure system. You can see the camera that's mounted on the windshield here. This is part of the new package of the driver assist from Prevost, the enhanced driver assist. That is your collision alert. As far as lane departure as well, you get a signal on the dash about that. The amber lights that you see on either side of the windshield pillars there, that's Liberty Coach's blind spot detection system. We've touched on that in the past, where we have the radar units that are painted, mounted along the side of the coach, that notify you of an obstacle, a vehicle on either side of the coach and up to about 20 feet in the rear, so that can protect your tow vehicle as well. Then we have the adaptive cruise control system on here that will adjust your speed while you're on cruise control as you're approaching a slower vehicle. We have the steering wheel controls that operate your cruise control, the driver and passenger sunshade that comes down, and then the ability to turn the output retarder on and off from there as well. And then there's paddle switches on the bottom side of the steering wheel to be able to go through the message center of the Volvo dash cluster.
All the little decor pieces. Is this something that your sister-in-law picks out?
This is all Kim. The Liberty Coach interior conversion is a complete package, from the towels to the interior decor systems that we do, and design-wise to the stuff that you see down in the bay. It's a complete package. We try and make sure we provide the customer with everything that they need for their trips.
Yes, sir. And what type of AC system is in this coach? We were talking about you can run the ACs off of the lithium batteries. How many AC units does this coach have?
There's 4 15,000 reverse cycle AC units. They're the Dometic Penguin units, and you probably will notice we have a little bit more interior height in here than most of the Prevost units that you'll go into. It's because of how we engineered the ducting system. So the ducting system is cut on our computer controlled router machines, so we do radius ductwork throughout the coach so that we can try and get more airflow and also cut down the noise. Instead of building square boxes where all the air gets all trapped and makes all kinds of turbulent noise inside of the corners, this allows the air to come out. We also do the same on the returns so that you have a better delivery of air conditioning or heat, and then a more comfortable and quieter system as well.
Yeah, now I know some of the older Liberty coaches had bus air as an option. Does this coach have the bus air option, or is that only on double slides?
So that's on double slides only. The triples and the quads have the driver's AC system, which is just for the driver's compartment and right behind the driver and passenger seat. The coach actually that my wife and I, Denise, used to go to Sturgis and Yellowstone is a 2020. It was on the website as stock number 7190. It's coach 864. That is a bus air double slide coach. We have actually 2 bus air double slide coaches ordered for delivery next year. One for Travis Tritt. He's a longtime Liberty Coach customer. He's got one coming next year, and we also have another one coming for another client. So the double slide bus air coach is still a very viable piece. In fact, to me, it's more preferable. I like the bus air. And the double slide works really well for us. We can go in somewhere. We don't have to put a slide out when we stay overnight and get up and go.
Now the triple slide, you gain a lot more room, but going down the road, do the roof ACs with the lithium batteries keep the coach cool?
Oh yeah. I mean, when I'm driving down the road on a triple or a quad, you have to run the dash Prevost system, and then I would run the galley roof air, and I'd probably also be running the bedroom air as well. So from the front area, the kitchen forward in the coach, you're going to be almost as cold as you could be in a bus air coach if you really crank it down. The rear of the coach, I like to run that roof air so it is maintaining a temperature back there, so when you stop, you don't have to overcome the heat of the engine. Otherwise, when you stop and you just fresh turn it on, it's going to take a little time to cool it down.
I'm in and out of a lot of different RVs, and I noticed the Prevost really seem to hold the temperature well. Mm-hmm. Is there something about the insulation that Prevost does or Liberty Coach does that are just different from other RVs out there?
Well, Prevost does a lot as far as the insulation. If you were to look at a coach that before conversion, you're going to see 1.25 inches of foam cast panels that are put in the walls, in the ceiling, everywhere that can be. And then wherever we have to open it up to be able to run wiring or what have you, we will do a sound insulation with that as well, for an example, so that you don't hear the compressor or the air conditioning, or you don't hear the in-motion satellite dish on the roof running. And that also increases the R value, if you will, of the insulation. Now, the way that we build our cabinets, the interior walls of our cabinets, the back wall is actually a thermal panel on the back wall of the cabinet. And then you have an airspace in there as well. So that airspace plus that, plus you have the Prevost sidewall insulation, gives you another insulation factor there also. So there's two things that you'll notice when you're in our coach. It's going to be a lot quieter when you're in a resort environment or a racetrack environment, or even at Sturgis. I mean, we had the motorcycles running all day long and all night long. So it's much quieter, and it maintains its temperature. Very good point, because when you're in the coach, you don't hear the compressor cycling on the air conditioning as often, because the temperature is not fluctuating that quickly.
Yes, sir. Now, what about cold weather? How did these coaches hold up in cold weather?
So it was fun to be in West Yellowstone again. I used to go there every weekend when I was in college to guide snowmobile trips, and Mom and Dad would come out with a coach often and park at then what was Lions Head Resort. We had been there at 65 below zero and were able to be very comfortable inside the coach. So the heating system that we install in the coach is an 83,000 BTU SPAR hot water boiler that circulates through the entire coach. There are auto heaters or fan units throughout the coach that come on and off thermostatically, and that also is running through the main engine all the time, which is maintaining the main engine at 168 degrees. So that's the transmissions being at that temperature, the engine's at that temperature, the oil's at that temperature. So the complete coach is sitting there as a warm environment. And if you want to leave, you don't have to worry about a block heater. You can crank the coach up and go.
I'm sure the technology has evolved since you were in college a few years ago.
Yeah, we don't want to get into that.
Yes, sir.
How long ago that was.
Yes, sir.
But at any rate, yes, there has been a lot that's evolved from that. The heating systems have evolved. We do heated floors now, which we didn't do then. We still build the heating systems to sustain at those extreme temperatures, to make sure the water compartment is heated as well. And the way that we do our plumbing is we don't run the plumbing from bay to bay to bay. We'll run the plumbing from the plumbing bay, and that's all heated from both sides. We go up inside the coach and we run inside the coach. Again, everything is in a heated medium at all times.
As we're talking, this galley is really catching my eye. What all is going on in the galley?
Well, you've got a really cool design etched into the backsplash here, the tile and the elements that are back here. The Wolf induction cooktop, and how perfect everything is cut. It's totally flush. We have a sink cover as well that would be just as flush. We have the Wolf speed oven here, which is a microwave and convection oven. All of our cabinetry done inside is all finished, all lighted. You've pointed that out many different times.
I really like that new material you're using in the cabinets there.
Yeah.
Now this wood, this is a totally different...
Yeah, this is a nice matte finish. Almost looks like a cherry. Coffee maker, Keurig unit. Nice big pantry roll-out system. You like to get into the breakfast bar arrangement that we do, probably one of our signature design elements that we've done since probably the mid-2000s or earlier than that. It's probably become one of the most popular dinette arrangements that we have. It seems like every customer comes in, that's what they want to do. This particular coach, they decided to eliminate the TV arrangement here, which ends up giving you a larger window. So it makes the whole area feel much larger compared to the other units that we have. Tile area here, another utilization of different elements.
A lot of different new stuff that I've never seen. Just
right.
always raising the bar.
The bathroom door with the button studs on the upholstered panels. We do all this in-house. This is not something that we farm out or that we send off to somebody else to do. So these doors.
Yes, sir. You can
nice solid.
Really hear that quality. And do you mind if I take a peek in that half bathroom? And this is a bath and a half, Coach?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely stunning. All of the different layers of lighting. So much lighting in this coach.
The Fisher Paykel refrigerator system, that's something that we've been installing for quite a while now. I mean, it looks like there's not even a refrigerator there, right?
Absolutely.
Totally flushed in. The freezer drawer below hand with the ice maker in here also.
Is this a water dispenser here as well?
Yeah, it is a water dispenser. Yep.
And that's very flush.
Yeah.
I've never seen a refrigerator with a water dispenser so flush. This is a huge bedroom in this coach. Is this considered a super suite like the other 2023?
Yes, this would be the super suite with the 2 super slides in the rear. It gives you an enormous feel when you come into the bedroom area of the coach. You've got closets on either side of the TV area here. They decided to do shelving with the addition of a removable rod. We have a big hamper below as well. You know, certain touches that we do, Andrew. You look at this hamper, we could have easily just made this hamper flat across here. We didn't have to do another cut and design to it to give more volume. It would have been a lot easier just to make it all the way flat, right?
Yes, sir. As we're walking through this coach, these wood floors are really catching my eye, and even how the grain aligns from the slide room into the rest of the coach. The craftsmanship is just incredible. Now, what type of wood floors are in this?
It's a vinyl back with a veneer top to it. It's very, very thin. But what we do with this, you have to make the subfloor perfect, because if it has any issues whatsoever, it's going to telegraph that image through the floor, which you'll see in a very short period of time. So the flooring that we do, we have the Prevost floor that we have to work with, and then we do a sandwich floor in between, which our heating elements are in, so the entire floor is heated. And then on top of that, there's another subfloor that's done, and then that has to be all sanded, completely flat, and then the flooring goes on top.
Okay. Are the floors on the slide rooms heated as well?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, so what else is going on back here?
Closet on either side of the bed here. So you've got closet here, you've got enormous deep drawers on either side as well. The bed is a full king size bed. We have more storage over on this side. We've got mirrors on both doors here on the forward and aft part of the passenger side. You've got nice drawer space in here too. Under the bed, at the face of the bed here, is going to be the safe. And then we have flat charge ports on either side of the bed as well. Now this detail here is quite a bit different.
Almost like a spa kind of a feel. I'm trying to pinpoint a marine or spa, just a very rich
all
feel.
Individual wood panels.
That's all something that the Liberty Coach design team and the customer all come up with?
Exactly.
And Liberty Coach builds all that, nothing sublet out?
No, we do all that. And then you can get into the bathroom area. It's the full bath in the back with probably the largest shower that we have in the industry. We've touched on this before and talked about it. We weld up a stainless steel pan, and then we install it in the base of the shower, if you will, and then it's mudded and tiled. The walls in here are all a rock board, and then the tile is applied to it, so there's no way water can impregnate through there to get outside of this area, which we all know. We've heard plenty of stories. We know all about them through the years of showers that have rotted away because of not being attended to properly.
And how long has your family been using that type of shower enclosement?
So we've been building coaches for over 50 years, so I would have to say that at least 40 years of it. Unless there was a couple of layouts that we had done where there was a circular shower that was in the center of the coach in the mid-80s that had its own fiberglass pan, if you will, that we had to utilize for that. But other than that, the half moon showers that were in the coaches, these showers, they all had the stainless steel pans. So we can get in here. I have plenty of room. I'm tall like you are. I can get in here and move around and be comfortable.
Absolutely. And I gotta say, when I walk back into this bathroom, it's like walking into direct sunlight because it is so bright back here. I don't know how much the camera agrees with that. Just incredible.
We've always had the comments that, you know, we should have more lighting. There should be more lighting, not so much in our coach, but in coaches in general. There needs to be more lighting in the bathroom for the ladies, what have you. So you're right, we've got the sun.
I know Liberty Coach did some big design changes when they went with the new look interior. What year did they change to the new look interior?
We started doing the new look in mid-2019.
Wow, and this is still part of that new look interior?
Right.
Frank, it's an absolute honor to share this incredible coach with myself and the folks out on YouTube. Now, if someone's a serious buyer and they want to order a new Liberty Coach, or purchase some of your pre-owned inventory, who should they get a hold of?
Well, the best way to do it is go on to the website, libertycoach.com, or you can also go on to our other company. The website is themotorhomeexchange.com. Look through the inventory there, and then you can email in directly from those sites, or you can email coachsales@libertycoach.com. That'll get it to me, and then I can divide it up and send it off to where it needs to go. Somebody will get back to you immediately. You can also call in 800-554-9877, and we'll be all over it for sure.
Awesome, Frank. I greatly appreciate you and the team at Liberty Coach. I also greatly appreciate all of you out there on YouTube subscribing to the channel and liking these videos. I hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you guys for watching. I really enjoy doing these, and we'll do more of them for sure.
Perfect.